Hey everybody, good afternoon and welcome back to Mad Horse Barbecue. My name is Brian, and in today's video we're gonna fire up the original PK grill and smoker, and we're gonna cook up some cowboy style ribeyes. Cowboy ribeyes being they're bone in, and then there's just a little itty bitty handle there, not the tomahawks. You know, the tomahawk's got the bigger handle, the cowboy cut. I'm sure there's a length that differentiates the two, but the cowboy cut usually just has like a little stub of the bone sticking off. You know, one of the biggest controversies, well, it's not a controversy, but one of the biggest arguments I always find funny in barbecue is the bone in, bone out argument when it comes to a ribeye steak. First and foremost, the most important thing is your damn money, so, you know, buy whatever you want with it. And then secondly, typically around where I live, you know, bone-in ribeyes are quite a bit cheaper a pound. And to me, my absolute favorite cut of steak to cook is a tomahawk ribeye. They didn't have any tomahawks, they got cowboy cut. So I have two cowboy cut ribeyes we're gonna do today. We're gonna do a salt brine on them, and then we're gonna rub them up with some product from Butcher BBQ. Then we're gonna fire up the PK using some B&B oak briquettes. That's the only kind of briquettes I have right now. And then we're also gonna use a little bit of Blues Hog lump charcoal. That's just kind of how that's kind of like my preferred method to do steak. So I put a little chunk of hickory in there, a little chunk of hickory on the coals. I'm not quite sure yet, but then we're gonna start them off on the grill grate side. We're gonna get some nice cross hatch marks, and then, we're gonna get some nice cross hatch marks, and then we're gonna move them over to the indirect side and let them finish there. So first thing we gotta do is we gotta get that steak salt brine, so let's go inside and let's do that. All right guys, got our steaks right here. Got two cowboy cut ribeyes. I did a little bit of trimming here just to take off some of the hard fat, and then this one was kind of, you know, shaped a little weird. You can still kind of see it's, you know, shaped a little weird, but the marbling already in them, you know, they look pretty darn good for just regular old choice cowboy cut ribeyes. For all those of you out there that don't like the cowboy cut or the tomahawk ribeyes because you're paying for the weight of the bone, just some perspective here. These steaks were $9.99 a pound, and then the thick cut or regular cut ribeyes that they had there were, I believe they were $18.99 a pound. So these are $8 cheaper a pound, and typically that's how it always is around here with the bone-in ribeyes. They're always usually at least, I'd say $5 to $8 cheaper a pound. So got our cowboy cut ribeyes here. Got a little bit of coarse kosher salt. We're just gonna do a dry brine. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of salt. I'm just gonna sprinkle it on here. And you can do this overnight. I usually never do it overnight. I've done it a few times overnight, and I personally don't care for it. I more or less like a 6 or 7 hour brine, and that's what we're gonna do on these. So once you get the one side done, just kind of give it a little pat. A pat-pat-pataroo, one could say, and then flip it, and then get the other side as well. Okay, that's gonna be good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these in the refrigerator, and we'll pick back up probably when we're starting up the PK. All right, guys, first things first, we're gonna get the charcoal going. I like doing it right in the PK, both bottom vents open. I have 2 wax cubes right there. They're kind of just stacked right on top of each other, so light the cubes, and take my chimney and put it right over there. Let this burn probably for about 15 minutes and pick back up when we're dumping the coal. All right guys, coal's been burning for about 20 minutes now. Go ahead and dump it into the PK. The way we're gonna set this up, we're gonna do 2-zone cooking, so I'm gonna have all my coals banked pretty much on this side. Actually, not pretty much, we're gonna have all my coals on one side of the grill with the grill grate, PK grill grate on, and the grill grates on, and then the other side is gonna be a cool side. Once you got them spread out how you want, I'm gonna go ahead and take some of this Blues Hog lump and put it right over it. Been cooking steaks on the PK like this for quite a while now. You know, I really haven't, you know, like when I do steaks, I pretty much do steaks like this 100% of the time. I've dabbled in a bunch of different ways, and you know, once you find a method that you like, you kind of just stick with it. So got enough lump on there. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the grate on. I do have 1 small chunk of hickory here. Take the grill grates, put them right over the hot side. So I got the grill grates here, open side here. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing down. I'm gonna open up all my vents pretty much until I get the sear done. But it's gonna take, you know, I'm probably gonna let this grill slowly come up to temp like this, probably for about 20-30 minutes before I'm gonna put the steaks on. So when we're throwing the steaks on, we'll be picking back up. All right, these steaks have been in a salt brine now for about 5 hours. Pulled these things out about probably about 20 minutes ago, because you know, when a cut of steak is this big, I like taking them out of the fridge and letting them sit out for about an hour before I throw them on. So go ahead, rub these things down. Rubs we're gonna be using today are both by Butcher BBQ. We're gonna be using the Grilling Addiction and the steak and brisket rub. And then I'm also gonna use a binder of some of this What's Your Sister sauce, W sauce, Worcestershire sauce. Call it what you want, that's the binder. So we're just gonna go ahead and coat both sides of these. Just a little bit of liquid for a binder. So hit it with both the rubs. A good pat. It's a thick cut of steak, so I'm also gonna get the sides, little binder. Same thing on the other side. Give it a pat, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and let these things sit out until it's time to cook. Probably got about an hour and a half right before the grill's ready to go. So these will be sitting out right on the countertop until it is time to go. So next time we pick up, we'll be done with the PK. All right, guys, back down at the PK. Time to put the steaks on. Now, the thing we got going on right now is the one steak is quite a bit bigger than the other one. So I'm gonna do the bigger one first, move it to the cool side, and then do the smaller one in an attempt to have these steaks both finish at the same time. So I'm gonna do the bigger one first, put it smack dab right in the middle of the grates. I'm gonna use the steak weight because I do like cool lines. I'm gonna give it a 5 count. Leave that weight on. Let it go for 1:20. All right, 1:20 is up. Go ahead, take the steak off for a sec. Clean off my grate. This method of cooking a steak is 100% optional. Like I said, I've been doing it this way now for a while, and I really like what I get out of it, so that's how I do it. Same thing, steak down, give it a flip, 5 seconds. Close it down, let it go for another 1:20. All right, 1:20 is up, do the same thing, steak weight off. Steak off, clean the grate. Give the steak a coat of cooking spray. And then when we put it back down, we're gonna move the bone 45 degrees. So the bone was facing here, now it's gonna be facing here. And that's how we're gonna get our crosshatch. Steak weight on for 5 seconds. Close it down, let it go for another 1:20. All right, 1:20 is going up, same thing. Steak off, clean those grates. Give it a coat of Pam. Flip. See, we got our nice 45-degree marks there. That's what I like. And again, if you don't want the crosshatch marks, you don't have to have them. So 5 count. Put her down. Another 1:20. All right. Final 1:20 is up. Gonna go ahead and move this steak to the cool side of the grill. Go ahead, clean our grate, and cook the other steak. This one we're cooking the same exact way, so I'll probably get this one cooked, and I will pick back up when we're moving it over to the cool side. All right, timer's going off on the final flip here. Go ahead and get this steak moved over to the cool side too. Kind of sort of just like this. Once I got it moved, I'm just gonna go ahead and check the internal temp quick. Using my Thermopen 1. Check it right in the middle. Got one sitting at about 67. Bigger one sitting at about 69. So that should be pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing down, and I'm gonna let them finish off on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna get it kind of set up for just, it's set up for 2-zone cooking, but right now I got all 4 vents wide open. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna close the vent on top of the coal all the way. And then I'm gonna close the vent under the steaks all the way. So then I got the vent right under the coal open and the vent right here open, so that heat should work its way across this grill and through the steaks. So I'm gonna let these things finish out just like they are, and we will be picking back up after I got them in and I've got them rested. All right, guys, we are back and it's time to eat. We've got the tomahawk ribeye sitting right here. That's pretty hot still, but there she be, looking pretty dang good. Real quick, did like a 5-hour salt brine on it. And then you can see how I got the lines. You know, we did about 1:20 per turn. So a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 minutes and 20 seconds directly over the coals, probably another half hour, 40 minutes. Just on the indirect side to finish this off. Brought this one up to an internal of about 120 just because it was carrying quick, and then I let it rest. So it should be pretty good medium rare. So without further ado, let's go ahead, cut into this thing and see what we did. Sorry about the crying toddler in the background, but he's not feeling the best, and he's dramatic. Take some slices, get the spinalis off. Looking pretty dang good. Got her pretty good medium rare. Take a peek here. A pretty good medium-ish, medium rare. Looking pretty darn good. Let's go ahead and give the spinalis a try. You know, it cut like butter, so I can't wait to try it. It smells good. I gotta say, the flavor you get from that, you know, the Butcher BBQ rubs, absolutely fantastic. Great combo on beef. Highly suggest you give it a shot. You know, the salt brine too works really, really, really good. So now besides that, I don't have much else to say. This is cooking cowboy cut steaks on a PK grill, using some grill grates and getting some cool lines is pretty much what this video is. So fun cook, easy weekday cook, and really, like I said, every part of this cook is optional. You know, you don't have to get the grill lines, you don't have to do the salt brine. I felt like doing a salt brine for one, and I think grill grate lines, you know, you eat with your eyes first, but I think the grill grate lines look cool to me, so that's why I do them. And I just like the way the steak tastes after I get done doing them that way. So besides that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. You guys and girls have a good day. See you next time.